interesting what Tavi's saying, because over the course of the years, the film was very difficult to structure because it was a poetic structure. And also, we struggled with how much of the history to tell. We wanted to be able to embed the history into a personal story. And yet, it was early on, it was always in Tavi's voice. It was all Tavi and Tavi's story. And over the years, we struggled with how to give it a multi-dimensional point of view. And it wasn't until we decided that we should interview Tavi's mother 2 years ago that we really turned the bend with making the story happen and understanding and knowing that we had finished the film. Because Tavi's mother was somebody who was always there, was always present. It's kind of like the proverbial mother. You always take her for granted. She's always there, she's always supporting, yet you don't really talk to your mother that much. And so I said to Tom, I said, we really should, let's interview your mother. She probably has a lot to say, and she shares the same journey as you do. And it was really interesting because she nailed the interview. I mean, she was amazing. And after the interview, we both, said, we can finish the film now. We got the movie. Any other? Okay.
We have time for one more question. Yes.
Why are you particularly drawn to the voice of the Lao people to explore the impact of war? Why was that your initial instinct to go to that?
Why didn't I want to? I was an anthropologist, basically. Well, the question was, why was I so interested in putting the film in the Lao voice and the Lao point of view? And I guess I was an anthropologist when I was at school. I went to Brown University, and I was very interested in what happened to Native American societies here in this country and how they kind of lost their spirit, when they lost their land. And also, I was very interested in political documentaries and how I didn't want to be an ethnocentric point of view. Because I really believe in people being able to speak their own history. And we all know that history is very subjective, and it really depends on who tells it. And so that's why I thought it was important that this story be told from the point of view of the Lao. And now, there really isn't that much of a Lao cinema, and there wasn't. Although, ironically, when we went to Laos, we had the great fortune of having our tour guide was one of the 2 Lao filmmakers in the country before the war. So he's the one who enabled us to get into the country. He said, "Oh my God, is that a camera?" We're like, "Yes." It was like, "I used to be a filmmaker." We're like, "Great, help us get it in." So, it's kind of hopefully will be the beginning of an emerging Lao cinema. The Lao communities are all over the world. There are millions of Lao all over the world. They're in every city in the country. And in Canada and everywhere, in France and everywhere. And so it's interesting that they're wanting to start their own media now, to have their own dialogue with themselves and with the world. Right, Tom? We're still friends after all these years, right, Tom?
I want to take the word friend, I think more like a family, so.
No, his daughter's second word was ba, which means aunt, so. Are there any other questions? Do you have time?
One more.